was in high school, there was a lot of bad habits, bad behavior, being in parties, being around a bad crowd, getting blacked out drunk. It was so normal. Like, that's what the popular kids do. That's what, you go to school and then you party on the weekends. And so by the time I got to college, I was being really reckless with myself. I didn't really have much self-worth or anything like that. And so I got into...
Because of the decisions you made in high school.
Yeah, it was kind of like it led up to it. So the behavior got more radical. Like, the behavior got more extreme, but it had become so normalized in high school. And so what had ended up happening is that I put myself in situations too where I got taken advantage of. And through all of this, I couldn't realize, like, I was being abused. It was this perpetual abuse that happened over months. So going into the summer of my third year of college, I'm depressed. I'm not eating. I'm taking pills all the time. I'm always blacking out, drinking or smoking.
Your normal.
My normal was actually like destroying me. And so I had developed social anxiety. I wasn't going to my classes. Alex, when I was in college my first year, I had a 3.6. Like, I made president's roll. By my second year, I was dropping out. I had incompletes. I was failing. And so
fear of going to class.
Fear of literally being around people. And so I would isolate.
Wow.
And I would numb myself. I would try and escape. And what's so sad is that I was actually being abused in the place where I stayed 24/7. But because I was so used to it, and it was it was normal for me, I just continued to stay there. I didn't feel like I could go anywhere. I had the PTSD of somebody who was out at war because I was hiding. I was locking myself in closets. Like, I was just trying to survive. And so the crazy thing is, like, I think mental health is so important because even if your environment looks safe, if your mind thinks you're on a battlefield you're not, you're going to act like that. You're going to have that defensive. You're going to break down. I had nightmares and I had to constantly be numb. I had to constantly be numb just to get through the day, to not want to kill myself, to not want to die. To self-medicate just to get through, But then it was like, to get through to what? What's the point of even living right now?
Wow.
I had this moment. I really had this, like, come to Jesus moment where I felt God being like, you need to release this because it's killing you.
Yeah.
The guy who had done all of this to me, he had graduated college. I was dropped out. I had a DUI. My life was falling apart. I was self-destructing. And I'm like, how is he happy and successful and my life is falling apart? I'm 21 years old and I have nothing to look forward to anymore. And I just felt God saying, release, release, release. There is nothing that this guy can do to make up for what's already been done, but I can heal you from it. I can use it.
Come on.
This can be part of your testimony. Hopelessness is not being able to see the purpose in your pain. And that's where I was. Good. I didn't see any purpose in the pain of what I was going through. And so it was just like this dark cloud. But once I saw that light, like, hey, there's going to be a purpose for this. Somebody is going to be on the other side of this and needs to hear that they can get through it, that it wasn't okay, but they can move on.
Yeah.
And I am loved and I am stronger and I am a survivor, and I'm married now and I have a husband who loves me, and so it's like everything that was done to me did not define me. Oh, if anything, it just made me stronger. Yeah. And so mentally, I know now, like, because I've had the worst things happen to me and I've survived, there's not a single thing that can happen from this day forward that's ever going to stop me.
What would you tell yourself at 16 years old?
Just stop looking for somebody to make you feel the way that you can make yourself feel. And when I say that, I mean accepting myself. When I was 16, I just wanted somebody to love me. I wanted somebody that was never going to leave me, that was never going to abandon me. And I realized the one person, Alex, that's never going to leave me is myself. Yeah. I'm right here.
Yeah. You ain't going anywhere.
And I realized, like, I'm pursuing all of these things and all of these people. And it's like, just to tell myself to take a breath and stop. When I was 16, I didn't feel like anybody loved me. I didn't feel like I had any purpose. I didn't feel like, I was ever going to be good enough for a guy. I felt like there was always going to be a girl that was better than me or prettier than me, or somebody was always going to be cheating on me or whatever. And it's like believing that one day, like, I'm going to be married. I'm going to have kids. I'm going to have somebody that loves me and respects me, and to stop chasing it while I'm 16 years old. If you're dealing with something, reach out, like, get help. There's so many resources, and just get louder. Use your voice.
That's
Don't
so good.
don't be silent. I have a voice and I'm using it. And before I didn't want to.
Wow.
You know, the only person that's really judging you right now is yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like people will see your strength and they'll latch onto it. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you.